Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where we are finally here for another perfect, amazing matchup. We have the Venom roster looking to complete their perfect season. They're looking to go 18 and 0, and the only thing stopping them is the Bishops. The Bishops hopefully are here to play, but right before we get into that, Rockerman, I am joined in the booth by Rockerman once again. I know he just cast with me, but Rockerman, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Ventus. We've had some great matchups so far. A lot at stake here in the last day of the regular season, and of course, we get to end it off with a great matchup to see if Venom can be one of only 5 teams in Nemesis history. We've had 734 teams in Ventus in Nemesis history that have gone and played matches, and only 4 of them have had a perfect regular season, and only 2 of those pulled off the perfect season. So Venom trying to add their names to the history books. A lot at stake for them, and for the Bishops here, trying to play spoiler. I mean, this is they're eliminated from postseason contention, but that's not going to stop them from coming out here and trying to spoil some fun here for this Venom team.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, if I'm on the Bishops, I'm super excited for this matchup because there's nothing to lose. You can go out, just play however you want to. You could pre-jump every single touch that Venom's gonna do. Like there's nothing at stake for you and everything at stake for Venom. Venom's gonna have to be playing. So they're probably going to be playing a little bit more cautious. They don't want to necessarily give any early leads. They want to try to secure their perfect season. And I mean, it's just going to be a super fun matchup overall. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better way to end it off, especially the regular season. Obviously, when we get into the play-ins and the postseason, there are going to be some amazing matches. But seeing if Venom can become that number 5 team in all of Nemesis history to have a perfect regular season, I mean, who wouldn't want to cast that?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a great one for sure here, and I mean we'll see how it turns out. I'm excited to see Bishops. They've already got their roster here with Critter, Bemar, and Raiia. I believe is how you pronounce that name. Um, Raiia, I don't know, Raiia or Raiia. Maybe Raiia, but Raiia, Bemar, Critter. They're gonna try to be the ones to take down Venom, who we just found out right before this matchup they were looking for a free agent sub before this matchup, so maybe not the best way to try to end off your perfect season attempt. But it looks like they do have Forht, who's here, so it is going to be the main 3 that we know: uh, CopenTay, Yukio, Takeda, and Forht. And it looks like they're everybody's here in the lobby, ready to lock and load.
Yeah, I mean, Venom sporting their patented roster for CopenTay and Yukio, all 3 players super solid. And I mean, I'm really looking for Critter on the Bishops to step up in a big way, especially with him being on multiple high-rated teams. He was on Motion during Motion's climb to the playoff race. He was on I believe the Assassins when
Yep.
they were relatively in the playoff race as well. I believe they were around even 5-5. So he's been on a lot of different teams this season. This is his 3rd or 4th team, and I'm really looking for him to make an impact. But as I say that, Bishop's already starting out on the defensive half. Yukio looking for a pass out to CopenTay, but it's going to be cut off by Critter. Critter looking for a solo play, gets the touch off the ceiling, has his flip, loses his flip, doesn't use his flip in time. CopenTay gonna pick that ball up in the corner, clear that one out. Forht, a great redirect back to CopenTay. CopenTay looking for a bump, does not get that one, and Raiia is able to clear this one away. Looking for a pass of his own into the midfield. A double commit comes out from the Bishops, but nothing gonna happen with that. Venom gonna easily clear that one away. CopenTay looking for a touch, gonna get beat by Critter. Ball's just floating into the midfield. Forht has to touch it to the corner and clear this one away once again. Bishop's showing early signs of pressure in life, but as I say that, Raiia just an unfortunate mistouch, allowing Venom to go up early in game 1.
Yeah, and that one, trying to save that one, just couldn't quite get the touch on that one there. Very close on the ball there. But yeah, if you're the Bishops here, Ventus, we didn't get to talk too much about like keys to this matchup here. Obviously, if you're Venom, you're heavily favored. There's no reason you should lose this one, as Bemar is going to put it in off of that one. A great attack on the kickoff here, just able to take it himself. No one else there for it. Just a little bit too far out on that one. Flips a little bit further than he might have liked, but The key to me here, or the key for me here, if you're the Bishops, is come out and win this first game. They didn't get the first goal, so I didn't get to talk about that. But you have to win this first game. If they don't win this first game, I don't want to say it's wraps, Ventus, but it's probably wraps here. So come win this first game, and don't let CopenTay score on you like he's done to many teams this far.
Yeah, I mean, just a great 50 coming out from Forht. Bemar trying to get a pre-flip touch off target, but unfortunately just not going to be able to do so, and CopenTay kind of picks up the ball back up and takes a freebie for the Venom. And that's one thing you cannot allow Venom to do, is just get these freebie easy goals. You got to make them work for every inch. You got to have these pre-jumps, these insta challenges coming out like Critter just did. Critter looking for a pass of his own. Yukio going to clear this one away. Raiia getting another 50 in the midfield, but Yukio has the potential for a double tap, looking for it. Not going to put that one on target though. CopenTay going to pick this ball back up in the midfield. Going to pass this one out to Forht. Forht looking for a shot. Not going to be super heavy touch, and it's going to be a pretty easy save for the Bishops. Raiia going to clear this one out. Instantly challenged by CopenTay in the midfield. And, I mean, the Venom midfield pressure really being very dominant. Forht getting another touch in that midfield area, not allowing the ball to cross into their half, but it does once again. CopenTay needing to clear this one out, but it's a pass to Raiia. Not a great shot, though. Forht making a great save, and a good follow-up touch from Yukio just to clear that one out. And Forht just clearing it once again. Bemar has a potential for a double tap, though. He's going to put this one just off target, and you'd like to see him be able to hit those, especially if Bishops are wanting to take the lead or tie the game and take this game number one. But unfortunately, not going to be able to find that one on target. Bemar gets another demo, though, for his efforts. Tries to put that one on target, not going to be able to do so. It's still in the midfield. Bemar just not able to find that shot either. And Venom hold on to a seemingly very good onslaught from the Bishops.
Yeah, no, that was some great offensive pressure by the Bishop. It seemed like they were just a split second away from putting one in the back of the net here. And, I feel like that's the that's a staple for a number one team here, an undefeated team. This one being blocked away is, it may seem like there's times where they're going to break a little bit, but they never do. And that's the difference between these undefeated teams and, maybe these teams that go 17-1, 16-2 is, these guys will not break at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, they will play their game through and through. They'll play very good Rocket League, and you really have to force the mistakes out of them. And Bishops have not done so just yet. They have put up one goal in that early kickoff goal, but since then have lacked the finishing potential that we've seen from a lot of these higher rated teams. But they're still keeping that pressure up. Bemar keeping this one in the midfield, gets bumped for his efforts, but does get a follow-up 50. Is still able to stay on the ball, gets a touch bottom right corner, and he's going to put that one home just past Yukio.
Yeah, and Bemar, he has been the offense here for the Bishop. Just good speed, avoids that demo from Forht, and just out of the reach of Yukio. And another great shot from him here, and the Bishops all tied up here with this undefeated Venom squad here. Gotta look for that next one here, see if they can steal away this game number one.
Yeah, and I mean, they definitely have stepped up. They have been going toe-to-toe with this Venom roster, who is favored heavily as that number one seed going into the playoffs, having that potential perfect season. And I mean, it's very good to see signs of life. If they can take game one and really start gaining their own momentum, they can build off that very heavily. But I'm not going to allow that as easily as they thought. The potential shot coming out. Yukio getting a beat on Critter, going to the back wall. Bemar gonna have to catch this one. Gets a beat on two. CopenTay gonna have to be that third man midfield presence. He gets his flip reset though. Tries to get it under Raiia, but Raiia gonna get that pre-flip there and get the dunk. Yukio looking for a clear into the Bishop's half. Bemar just gonna pick this one up nice and slow. Take his time in the corner. Does get bumped, but is still able to clear it. Not a great touch coming out from Forht. Gets demoed by Critter. A 2v1 happening. Critter beats one. Trying to get this one on target, but not able to do so. Critter just slightly off target. Bemar not able to follow that one up either. Raiia getting a potential double here. Looking for a third touch. Gets a pass to Critter. Critter putting it off the back wall. CopenTay getting a clear high. Gets a beat on Critter. Relieving some of that pressure. And with the clock dwindling down, it looks like we're going to go to game one. Overtime, unless something happens, but no, it is going to hit the ground. We are going to overtime in game number one. Who will come out victorious? Will Bishops be able to steal game one and allow their momentum to start, or will Venom keep their dominance? It looks like a pass to Forht. Forht looking for a flick past Critter, but Critter, a great dunk, going back into the Venom half. CopenTay having to rush back, gets demoed for his efforts. A miss coming out from Raiia actually turns into a shot from Bemar. Bottom right corner, not in though! And Bemar just off the post, trying to get a follow-up. Critter having to do a little team bump to try to get a 50. Raiia playing this one into the corner, but CopenTay's already there. Critter getting a touch, having to be double committed on with Bemar just to make sure that that shot does not go in. Yukio looking for a pass in the midfield, and Forht dunking through two members of the Bishops roster and putting that one home to give Venom the Game 1 victory.
Yeah, and that's a great reconnecting pass out, and Forht just over the top of two. The post is kind for the 17-0 Venom, able to send that one in the back of the net. Oh, but Ventus, it was so close there for them to take that game number 1. The ball just ringing off the bottom right there. And Bishops, they really had their chances. And that, like I said, that's the toughest thing when you play an undefeated team. You have to be nearly perfect, you know, in that game. And unfortunately for Bishops, it just wasn't quite perfect enough. And Venom able to squeak out the overtime victory.
Yeah, and there is a super great chance by Bemar there, getting that shot perfectly placed in the bottom right corner, but it just hit the post and went out. And if he got the turn of luck of the Rocket League gods that Forht did in that overtime goal, we could be seeing a completely different series right now. And with Venom being able to take game 1, we talked about how crucial it was for Bishops to win that one. How do you think this will affect the rest of the series?
I mean, it's gonna make it even more tough than it already was. I feel like the Bishops, they do have confidence, and I could see the confidence in them when they were challenging these balls, when they were trying to play. But you know, they just have to meet Venom on every challenge, on every play, and like you mentioned, force those mistakes from Venom. And you know, unfortunately, they didn't quite force enough mistakes. But Venom, they did look shaky. I can't lie. In that game number 1, they looked a little shaky, but Bishop's just not quite able to find enough capitalization. And now in the game number 2, Bishops, they need a big one right here. Again, to you're not gonna reverse sweep the 17-0 Venom squad. I'd love to see it, but I highly doubt it here. So Bishops, you got to lock in. Come get this first goal here, and put Venom a little bit on the back foot.
Yeah, I think if Bishops can continue their strong play that they did in game number 1 and keep going toe-to-toe with Venom, especially if they gain an early goal and an early lead, I can definitely see them being able to hold on as Critter looking for an air dribble, almost gets it past that last defender in CopenTay. Bemar already up. Raiia putting a shot on target, but Yukio, pre-jump save, is able to get there. Yukio getting a follow-up touch, but Bemar's there. A double commit on both sides. Yukio going to be first to this ball. Critter going to have to get a touch, but it's going to be cut away by Raiia. Raiia helping his teammate out, but not a great touch there. It's actually going to work as a back pass to Critter. Critter getting a flick on 2. Raiia looking for a pass back to Critter. Critter putting a shot on target, and that one going to go home. And Bishops with a great 1-2-3 passing play.
Oh my goodness, and Critter with the great flick, Raiia with the great pass, and then Critter with the bar down finish. And that looked really good right there from Bishops, and they are continuing that good offense that we saw in that game number 1. A great first goal from them, and now for them here, Aventus, you can't let off the gas. Don't let that one goal lead you. Here's Bemar. Oh my goodness, he's trying to put that one down, but CopenTay is gonna help him out. You got to keep the offense going here if you're the Bishops here. You can't just say we got a 1-goal lead against Venom, let's hold on. No, you got to keep the pedal to the metal, keep the pace.
Yeah, they definitely have to play all gas, no brakes here, but unfortunately Forht gonna put this one into the back of the net, ruining that momentum that Bishops had gained so hard. And I mean, just a great shot from Forht. Really takes that momentum away from the Bishops and basically sets the scoring bits even. Now everything's reset, and Bishops have to work from square one again.
Yeah, and when you're working from square one against this Venom team, it's a scary task here if you're the Bishops. But like I said, they haven't played too bad here thus far. Let's just see if they can keep the pressure going.
Yeah, and we will see with Bishops already getting some more pressure. Raiia with a shot on target, but Yukio clearing this one away. A double commit coming out, but CopenTay having to dive as that third man as well. A little bit of an overcommit coming out. Critter not able to get a touch into the midfield, but it's going to end up being a pass to Raiia, and Raiia putting this one off to the backboard. Yukio and Forht committing another double commit, Critter taking this ball directly off of CopenTay's car, clearing this one back into the Venom half. Raiia putting this one onto the backboard once again. Bemar getting a 50 on Forht, but Yukio gonna follow that one first. Raiia awkward in the corner. Forht gets the boost, gets the pass. Critter with a great save away, and Yukio having to run back for boost, allowing Critter to keep the possession. Yukio having to clear the ball across the field. Bemar getting the collection in that midfield. A pass coming out. CopenTay electing to leave it, understanding there's no threat coming out. Yukio. A pass to CopenTay. CopenTay passing to Forht. Forht looking for the shot, not going to be on target, but Yukio going to be there for a follow-up. Gets a little bit of a fake. Bemar not able to find a touch there. CopenTay electing to leave it once again for Forht, who passes it into the corner. CopenTay looking for a pass, goes for the bump, and luckily for Critter, Critter was able to get a touch on that one, able to dodge that bump, keeping this ball nice and slow, keeping the possession, forcing Venom back to their half once again. Raiia looking for a pass off the backboard, not a touch coming out from Yukio. Bemar putting a shot on target, that's going to go post and out, but Raiia there for a follow, but an even crazier save from CopenTay, able to keep the Venom defense intact once again. Amazing save coming out. Venom still on the attack now. CopenTay gets demoed for his efforts. Bemar taking it nice and slow, keeping his possession, looking for a flick pass one, does get it. He's going to follow up this touch. He's not able to get a touch on it, though, as Forht able to clear this one out. Critter not able to get a touch either. This could be a counterattack. CopenTay passing it to Forht. Forht with an open net, and all he's got to do is put it on target, and all gas, no brakes for the Bishops till the wheels fell off.
Yeah, the wheels are going to fall off here. No third man, not there in time. I think it was a demo, perhaps. Maybe just a little bit of a misrotation on that one. And yeah, unfortunately, Venom is going to capitalize. But I want to go back to that CopenTay save, because I thought for sure Bishops had that one. It was teetering on the goal line, and CopenTay might be the best goal line defender I've ever seen, Ventus, because that man, when this ball is on the net, when it's like hanging on the goal line and he has to come out of the net to try to save it, like he saves it every time almost. Like this guy is just a defensive menace on that end. It was a great save. It, you know, held the tied game, and eventually, you know, allowed Venom to get this lead right here in game number 2. And now with a minute, they just got to hold on, and it's Bishops who have to try to put the pressure back.
Yeah, and CopenTay has been playing absolutely phenomenal. All three of the members from Venom have played very solid. CopenTay obviously as that big star player to look out for. I mean, all three of these players on Venom are great in their own right and all-star players. But CopenTay, the big addition, I believe, onto this Venom roster, looking to take them from a great team to a perfect team, as he's going to have to play defense once again, clearing this one out to Forht. Forht trying to collect this one, gets a touch, looking to get it in past Raiia, getting a pass into the midfield, but CopenTay is going to be demoed. Yukio playing off the sidewall, looking for his second touch. He's going to touch it. I think it was a sidewall read, and that one's going to go in. It looks like the defender just non-existent for the Bishops.
It looks like, I guess he barely got the touch on that one. It didn't really do much to the speed of the ball, but Critter could not quite get back. A great shot from Yukio to send it in, and with 19 seconds remaining now, the Bishops probably going to have to be looking at game number 3 to try to pull their reverse sweep back against Venom. And like I previously mentioned, it is going to be a very, very, very tall task. Might be the tallest task we've ever seen in a Nemesis match.
Yeah, I mean, we're just setting it up for the content. You know, we already wrote the script out that Bishops were going to take it to a game 5 with Venom in reverse sweep fashion. We're just letting the game play out. You know, Venom, another goal just to end off game number 1. It looks like Forht just putting a little bit of an open net on target, little stat pad for the Nemesis fantasy players who might still be in the running for the championship, like I am, who have Forht. So I'm very excited about that little garbage time goal coming out from the Venom. But I mean, Venom once again just playing their game. Bishops really showing out though, really contesting Venom. I know the scoreline says 4-1, but I think Bishops played a lot better than we really give them credit for. The scoreline really dictates. They're going toe-to-toe with Venom, forcing CopenTay to make some crazy saves. I mean, if CopenTay hadn't made that double save off his own backline, Bishops would have gone up in the game, and maybe the game could have played out differently.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It often comes down to those 1 or 2 plays, you know, in the middle of the match, and we talked about it. To beat a team that's trying to go perfect, you almost have to play perfect yourself here, and unfortunately, Bishops just couldn't quite get that first shot on target, the one that rang off the post there, and that allowed Venom to bring it back. And now they got to try to pull off the reverse sweep here, Ventus. It's going to be tough here. Again, I don't want to keep being a dead horse here, but if you're Bishops, you got to try to score the first goal here and then just keep that pressure going, because we know Venom, they're going to be unrelenting as Critter's going to have to make a save on the goal line. So Bishops, the only thing you can really do is keep the pressure, because I feel like they've had really good offense. You just gotta capitalize on your opportunities and put them on target into the back of the net.
Yeah, and hopefully Bishops will be able to do that, give us a little bit more of that content, force Venom to sweat a little bit as they're looking for their perfect season. But Forht looking for a double tap, not going to have the boost to follow that one up. CopenTay looking for a shot as well, but not going to be able to get there. But a bad touch from Bemar actually allows CopenTay to put a shot towards the backboard. Unfortunately, not going to go in. Yukio looking for a pass to CopenTay. CopenTay on the back wall, puts a pass middle to Forht, and Critter, super awkward, not expecting such a great pass to come out from CopenTay on the back wall, and Venom catch Bishops lacking once again on defense.
Yeah, and that's just, you can just see the team chemistry with Venom. I mean, sending that one to the sidewall, and CopenTay is just there and waiting, ready to dribble it home, finding the pass, and Forht is right there. I mean, you can see why this team has gone undefeated up to this point, and why they're looking poised to do so. And I mean, just a great play from them right there.
Yeah, I mean, Venom, once again, showing why they are the 1 seed, why they are the favorite to win Challenger League this season is CopenTay looking for an air dribble over Raiia. Raiia getting a great save. Forht getting a 50, back into the midfield. Yukio going to pick this ball up, getting a 50 once again on Bemar. Critter going to clear this one out into the midfield. Going to follow up his touch, but not going to be able to do so much. Does get a bump, though. Raiia looking for a pass, going for a bump, leaving the ball for Bemar. Bemar getting a great touch as a reactionary touch in the midfield. Critter getting a beat on Yukio, but not going to do much. But a pinch to the backboard might allow Raiia to put a shot towards net, but not going to be on target. Looks like Venom, very low boost. Forht having to make a good touch. Does so, but it's still in the midfield. Bemar getting a 50. It's going back to the net of Venom. CopenTay having to get a good save. Once again, Venom playing a lot of defense, even though they are up. Bishops bringing the pressure towards the Venom roster. Critter getting a clear out. Once again, Raiia looking for a redirect. Gets the first touch, looking for the double tap. Not going to put that one on target as Forht getting a beat on Bemar. Critter, a great third man commit, allowing the Venom roster to fall back onto defense and rush back and allow Bishops to create some more pressure. Even though they only have one shot, they have sustained a lot of pressure into the Venom half. But Forht trying to put a shot on target. Bemar trying to just get this one away. Critter having to help him out there as he gets a long booming clear. Not a great touch from CopenTay. Is this one going to stay in the midfield, but he's able to follow that one up. But Raiia going to be first to this ball, going for an air dribble, electing to leave it. Tries to go for a fake, but Yukio all over that one. Yukio going to follow this touch up, trying to just keep possession, gets a beat on one. It's going to stay in the midfield. Bemar having to clear this one away, but it's still back in the midfield. CopenTay trying to put a shot on target. It's just going to go wide into the corner of the Bishops half. Forht looking for a center once again, but nothing going to happen with that one as CopenTay needs to keep the presence in the midfield. A pass to Yukio, and this Venom roster are just very, very solid with their passes to each other in the midfield, allowing themselves to transition very efficiently, and it has been very good and allowed Venom just to play their play style and not experience much counter as CopenTay gonna just put this ball in the back of the net off of his own touch to the backboard, and Yukio Forht running interference there on the defense.
Yeah, Forht was getting that bump there, and CopenTay just a great follow. But yeah, going back to your point there is, yeah, Venom, they really do. They just find each other. It seems like every touch, is purposeful, and every touch is either finding a teammate or opening themselves up for some more space. And the rotations are really good. You see CopenTay right there, ready to follow whatever happens with Fort's touch. He's ready to go, and that's a sign of a great team there. They just can connect on every ball. They find each other on every touch. Great opportunities, great bumps. This one coming down there, and with a minute remaining, Bishops once again gonna need a miracle. Otherwise, we will see the 5th ever perfect regular season.
Yeah, I mean, with going into the postseason perfect, it can add a lot more pressure onto these teams because they are trying to keep their perfect season alive. They are going as that 1 seed, as the favorite to win the entire league in the Challenger League. And, but I think with this Venom roster, I think they have what it takes to take that pressure, and pressure makes diamonds. I think they're just gonna get even better, and use that pressure to fuel their play and just put on great performances. But with the clock ticking down with 10 seconds, Bishops are going to need a goal here and now as Bemar putting a shot on target. Bishops aren't quite out of it yet. It's a tall task, but they are one step of the way there.
And they've had great offense, a lot of the times here. Finally, they get a win over Venom, not quite ready. And 10 seconds remaining. It all comes down to this kickoff. Can they somehow force overtime?
Yeah, and we will see as the clock just under 10 seconds now. Critter with a shot potentially on target. It's going to go wide. It's going to pop up though. Bemar getting a beat on Forht. It's going to bounce in the midfield. Critter going to elect to leave this one to CopenTay. Elect to pick up his touch. Critter getting a 50 into the midfield. Raiia trying to get a touch into the midfield once again, but Venom going to just bump him and drop the ball. Venom go undefeated. They go 18-0 as the 1 seed. And Bishops, even though they had a great fight, just unfortunately were not enough for this Venom roster.
Yeah, they weren't quite enough. And, like we mentioned, there's a big reason why this Venom team has gotten to this point. You can see the pressure, you can see the passing plays. I mean, they did everything that they needed to do. And it's so impressive, Ventus, here that this team is 18-0, only the 5th team ever in Nemesis history to go undefeated in the regular season. And now they're gonna have to see, heading into the postseason. You mentioned it. It can be a lot of added pressure to be that undefeated team. Obviously, if you're in this position, you want to make the history, you want to win, and give yourselves the chance to be perfect in the regular season. But it does add that pressure. And coming in the playoffs, when you got the best of the best trying to take you down, and not only do they have a target on themselves, in the regular season like that, where teams are, I want to be the one team that takes them down. I got to be the team that takes them down. In the postseason, it's everything right here, and these teams are going to be prepared, and they're going to be coming for Venom. I mean, 4-time champions in the Challenger League, undefeated. That's a lot of target on my back right there if I'm Venom, and they definitely have to keep their eyes peeled and stay locked in come playoff time. Otherwise, there's a good chance there you could see some sort of upset.
I definitely agree. It can add a lot of pressure, but if there is one team to do it, I think it can definitely be Venom. The roster played amazingly, even with a little bit of their miscommunications and double commits. They were still able to easily find each other with passes. And overall, I mean, you can't ask much more from a 1 seed. I will like to update you about the rival league, though. It
Mm.
seems like Whiteout was able to sweep the Chimeras, ending their potential play-in run. We will see a rematch of Lightspeed versus Distortion in that 9 and 10 play-in spot, which should be a very big treat. We will get to see Distortion trying to use that fire in their loss to Lightspeed to fuel them to potentially get a upset victory and lead them farther into the play-in run. So that's a very interesting tidbit of information there.
Yeah, no, that is very interesting. Yeah, Whiteout gonna claim the number 1 seed with that win as well. So they definitely had a lot to play for in that final matchup. So yeah, we'll definitely keep our eyes peeled on all the leagues. I mean, a great regular season thus far. We've had a lot of crazy matchups. The last results are coming in, so the postseason field is almost set. And before we do dive a little bit more into that, I do want to bring up our premium subscriber screen and give a couple shout outs here to end off the night. Shout out to all of our Nemesis premium subscribers, especially our Challenger Plus subscribers: Crotera, Noah, Wiggle, Critter, Fenrir, Parker, Jax, Neons, Rare, Speed, and Street Soul. Once again, thank you everyone who has supported us thus far this season, all the subs in the Discord and on Twitch. Everything you guys do goes back to supporting the league and has helped fund caster and streamer payouts for this season. So if you're enjoying the stream and you're willing and able to, do feel free to support the commentators and streamers that way. But yeah, Ventus, I mean, now coming into it, I mean, heading into next week, we start the playoffs, or well, not the playoffs, the postseason with the play-ins next week here. So Challenger, Rival, and Prospect will all have matches up next season or next week. And I mean, it's gonna be a crazy time next week, Ventus, with all those matches.
Yeah, I mean, those play-in matches are really going to be a big decider. Those teams who can take that momentum in the play-ins, really show their stuff, and prove that they are one of these top teams, and then take their momentum to potentially upset some of those top seeds that have proven their way through the regular season, are super interesting, especially for these rosters that might not have been the same throughout the entire season. Maybe it was a later season pickup where they, like Lightspeed, where they added Landon and Deco in the later half, and now all of a sudden Lightspeed have looked very good on stream. They could be some team that teams do not want to face in the actual playoffs. They're hoping they get knocked out in the play-ins, but those teams that they can use that momentum and bring forward and just give us some great content. So I'm super excited for those matchups.
Yeah, no, it is. It is definitely going to be a great playoffs, a great postseason. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Make sure you guys follow the channel if you haven't already. Very close to 2,500 followers. Actually, we did just hit 2,500 followers on the channel. So much love to everyone for all the support with that one. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Ventus, I'll let you send us away for the night. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, we had some great matches. There are even more to come, though, so stay tuned for the play-in matches next week. I believe that's when the start of play-ins happens. I mean, there are going to be some great matches. You do not want to miss that. But until next time, I'm Ventus. I was joined in the booth by Rockerman, and we will see you next time.